We begin with the latest on the coronavirus outbreak. Good evening, everyone. I'm Claire Kellett.
And I'm Corey Stark. In just the last hour, Missouri Governor Mike Parson confirmed a second case of COVID-19 in the state. He is set to speak on the case in 1 hour. And News 4 will bring you that coverage live. Also developing today, St. Louis city officials have banned large gatherings of 1,000 people or more. We'll have more on that in just a moment. And the NCAA also announced March Madness is canceled for both the men's and women's tournaments.
News 4 has team coverage on the latest developments in St. Louis impacting your daily life as well as the local economy. We begin our team coverage tonight with Vinton Blandon on the new precautions, Vinny, put in place by the city of St. Louis.
Right now, Claire and Courtney, I'm on the second floor of City Hall, just down the hall from the mayor's office. And she, along with several other city leaders, wrapped a news conference a short time ago. The headline here, no one in the city is presumptive positive or positive for that matter with the coronavirus. But she did say 3 people were tested. Now, in that news conference, we learned a short time ago the city's Director of Health announced a ban on large crowds. That's special gatherings like weddings, banquets, and conferences. They are capped at 1,000 people. This, the city says, does not apply to crowds around the arch, at churches, schools, or museums. Now, with those large events not happening, the mayor expects the losses to negatively hit the economy. We learned from the Board of Aldermen President Lewis Reed, with every Blues game not played, the city loses about $70,000. With every Cardinals game not played, the city loses about $200,000. Now, all city leaders are united when it comes to trying to help the city residents relax.
First off, I want to start to remind everybody just to stay calm. The city is prepared for this. We've been through different viruses before. The fire department, the EMS department, we've been through this.
I said this at a neighborhood meeting a couple of nights ago. I was going out to eat after I left the neighborhood meeting, and I said, you know, double tip your server if you can possibly afford it.
Now, that 1,000-person ban does not apply to the Battlehawks game, and the big crowd is expected about a week from now when they go to that game against the Los Angeles Vipers. Now, we have reached out to the XFL several times today to get a response on their procedures going forward. We have yet to hear back. Reporting live from inside City Hall, Vinton Blandon, News 4.
Vinton, thank you. The coronavirus is having a far-reaching impact on major sporting events and professional sports leagues. This afternoon, the NCAA announcing that it has canceled March Madness. There will be no postseason tournaments to determine the men's and women's basketball national champions. And Russell Kinsall is live at the Enterprise Center, where 2 rounds of the men's tournament were supposed to be scheduled to be played.
Corey, right now I can tell you the Enterprise Center is a quiet place, and it will not, sadly, will not be filled with cheering basketball fans next week. That is a disappointment not only for the city but also for the region. Hosting 2 rounds of the NCAA basketball tournament is a big plus for the local economy. Now let me tell you about one of the teams that was hoping to be in the March Madness tournament, the St. Louis University Billikens. The team finished the regular season strong and was seeded 4th in the Atlantic 10 Conference tournament. The team was already in Brooklyn when it got the news that the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament were both canceled.
It's disappointing from a competitive perspective, but this is life, and this is when you're part of something bigger than basketball.
More disappointment, just knowing how bad I wanted to go out here and compete on this for this tournament, just knowing how much my teammates want to compete and how much work we put in for this moment right here.
But you got to do what's right, and sometimes what right is not the easy, it's the toughest decision.
The president of the NCAA said he did not want the games to contribute to the spread of the pandemic. Now, the Blues were scheduled to play here tomorrow night against the San Jose Sharks. That game will not be played because the NHL has suspended its season indefinitely. So the Blues will not be playing here, and we don't know when that season will start back up. You know, living in St. Louis is a great sports town, and living here, part of the experience is going to different games and enjoying the sport. So you're going to hear from fans about what life will be like without all those games to go to. That's coming up on News 4 at 6. Live at the Enterprise Center, Russell Kinsall, News 4.
A growing number of events, organizations seeing cancellations. In just the last 10 minutes, we learned the fabulous Fox Theater announced performances and tours have been postponed through the end of March. Other changes we learned about today include the Go St. Louis Marathon. They tell us they are working to reschedule the event. Also, Missouri Baptist University and UMSL are two of the latest schools to announce they are going online through the end of the month. And more local school districts, they tell us they're looking at their plans moving forward. Certainly a lot of information, things constantly changing. So we want you to know. News 4 has a running list of changes to events and schools right now on KMOV.com.